Jai Sri Krishna, and today let us meet Shakuntala Bharwani, a friend of mine, and with whom I spent some wonderful evenings together. So she is essentially a professor of English language and literature, and she has been with the Maharashtra Education Service and has taught as a full-time professor at the Edphiston College, the Government Law College at the Bombay University, and also been a supervisor and mentor to students working for a PhD doctoral degree. She has written and edited textbooks which have been selected and prescribed for students of the Bombay University. Her textbook, Law and Literature, has been a prescribed text for law students of Bombay University for over 2 decades. Lost Directions, her novel, was recommended reading for the Department of Cultural Studies at London University. Her monograph, Nissim Ezekiel, the poet, was commissioned by the Sahitya Academy, New Delhi. Her academic career took a quick start when she topped the MA examination in English at Calcutta University with a first class first. She went on to study at the Exeter College, Oxford, and then was awarded a British Council visitorship to Downing College at Cambridge. She was selected by the USEFI, which is the United States Educational Foundation in India, as a Fulbright teacher to the USA in 2001. My Sindh traveled with me to the beloved homeland. Her latest book, written during the COVID corona period, has received several reviews, and critics have praised it because it combines information with a subjective tone, and it is intensely readable for its subtle touches of humor. She arrived at New York for her teaching stint just 2 days before the World Trade Center bombing and witnessed at close quarters the horror of bloodshed and burning fires. It was while she was in New York that she saw a poster of the university which stated, "Anyone with knowledge of Patu and Urdu, please report to room number 1. It was this fact that triggered her on a journey of self-discovery and a desire to trace her roots. This is what she writes in an essay titled "Why I Write? The Bomb That Got Me Started." And then it was my daughter, she says, and then it was my daughter who told me, "Mom, my children know nothing about sin. Why don't you write something?" With this in mind, I began to write, read, and research almost 24/7 during this corona period. The book has received several reviews, and critics have praised it because it combines information with a subjective tone, and it is intensely readable for its subtle touches of humor. So, let's meet Shakuntala Bharwani, and let's know about her book entitled My Sindh, A Journey to the Beloved Homeland. Shakuntala, please tell us more about yourself and the book.
Thank you, Shakun, for inviting me here. Shakun and I have been old friends, but we haven't been able to meet for a long time. Bombay being what Bombay is, it's very difficult to meet. Yes, about my book, I thought about Sindh very often, and I always wanted to write about Sindh, but somehow it never materialized. Caught up with teaching full-time, traveling across the world and lecturing, I got no time to think. But this corona time proved, ironically, a boon, because I started reading, writing, researching full-time, and this is the way this book came to be finished in record time. And of course, my publisher Saz Agarwal was most helpful. It was because of her that I kept going. She inspired me with all her knowledge and the amount of work she has done on Sindh. Without her, it would have been very difficult. Yeah, Sindh is a very interesting topic because at the time of partition, Punjab was divided into two parts. Bengal was divided into two parts. Punjabis got a part of Punjab and Bengalis got a part of Bengal. But for Sindh, the Sindhis got nothing. This was the saddest day when they had to leave their homes and flee. This is what I wanted everyone to know, that coming as we did from Sindh with nothing, how we Sindhis have made it. This book was written as an inspiration for young people, and my daughter often told me, "Mom, my children and my friends know nothing about Sindh, why don't you write something?" So this was what I wanted to do, and I've done it, and I'll just read a short passage which will give you an idea of this is the little paragraph which I have written at the end of the book in my note to the reader. For Sindhis, the word diaspora has a special significance. The first diaspora of Sindhis started in the middle of the 19th century when the adventurous business community sailed in search of trading markets. Musafiris of 2 to 3 years enabled them to become affluent and bring home wealth. With their spirit of philanthropy, they made large donations to their home cities in Sindh for the building of schools, colleges, hospitals and rest houses. The second diaspora occurred when they were uprooted forcefully from their ancestral homes after partition. So at the end of my book, I have asked young people to come forward and trace their roots and find out exactly how their ancestors lived and how they had to flee. And the last sentence is, "Now come with me and let's visit our homeland, a place that we can go to hopefully someday." So this is the way the book ends. It's very light reading with a subjective note, touches of humor, and it's received excellent reviews. So I hope you will buy the book, read it, and also present it to your children and grandchildren. Thank you for listening.